And we're back. It's episode 2 of Rachel and Jared and the Healthy Happy Hauls. We're so grateful that you guys chose to tune in with us today. If you missed episode 1, you can be sure to check that out. It talks all about why we've chosen to pursue full-time living in an RV. But in this episode, we're going to give you guys an update and share with you what's been happening because we've been living so far, how long in the RV?
A month.
About a month, maybe a little over a month.
A month and 5 days.
Yeah, so a little over 30 days, and we're adjusting still. So we just wanted to share with you about those adjustments. So first thing, let's talk about space, because obviously we went from quite a large home to now a fifth wheel. I feel as though we jumped into this lifestyle at the hardest time of year. Like, it's winter now, and we're in PA. And so we're having to learn a lot fast, and that's an adjustment in and of itself. But let's talk about the space issue. I know for me, like, I don't know, I feel like I'm pretty adaptable, but it's a little hard when you're incorporating the rest of the family's needs. And I know for the kids, they've struggled with having to share a closet now. Mackenzie's bed is actually also a couch, so having to pull it in and out has been an adjustment for her. How do you feel you've been adjusting to the space, hubby?
It's been interesting. I don't think the space is as much of an issue as everybody getting all their stuff put away.
Yes.
And where it belongs. So we're still struggling a little bit finding out where to store everything. But it's a work in progress.
In regards to talking about space issues, we just went through Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually started a new tradition, which you weren't on board with at first. But then I thought that it went rather well. Basically what we decided to do is a few days before actual Christmas Day, gifts that we had gotten for the kids, we allowed them to open one gift each day leading up to Christmas. That way, in our small little space with our small little tree, we didn't have as much piling up around it on Christmas Day. So I don't know, I thought that worked out well.
It did work out well. It worked out well this time because we had some items that required setup and gave us a chance to get stuff set up before we hit the road. We visited family on Christmas Day, so a little bit of traveling. And we kind of had everything squared away at the trailer before we left, so it was nice.
So being in a smaller space, of course, we have a smaller kitchen. There's not as much countertops, so that is something I'm having to adjust to. Meal prepping and all of that. The oven doesn't quite work like I want it to.
The oven's terrible.
Yeah, so we're adjusting to learning how to use a convection microwave. And also, we were reading on a lot of blogs and different places how beneficial it was to have an Instapot. And then Christmas happened, and apparently Instapot is like all the craze for everybody, whether you are living in an RV or not, apparently. So we've been collecting recipes and looking forward to learning all there is to know about our Instapot. So that should come in pretty handy. There is no dishwasher. You're looking at her. Unless I employ the family to help in that endeavor. So, yeah, you just, like in everything else, cleaning up after yourself, you can't let the dishes pile up. So it's a good and a bad thing. Let's talk about the bathroom. Because we went from having 2.5 bathrooms to now 1 bathroom. And the bathroom we have in the trailer, well, it's small. It's much smaller. And why don't you talk about the shower experiences?
What's there to say?
Well, at the height, like, I feel like
That's true. The shower head goes to about here on me, so you're always having to duck under to rinse your head off, or
do you actually have to take
rinse
the
off.
shower nozzle off and go like this, or do you just?
I just duck under with my knees.
There's a skylight though. Do you like?
There is. So if you were taller, because I'm not a very tall person, I'm only 5'9", 5'10", so someone who's 6 foot, I could see could have a lot more trouble. But you try not to get the ceiling wet, and you go about your business. It's not, as relaxing as it once was, but
yeah, it gets the job done.
It forces you to hurry up. The hot water tank's only so big, and if you take too long, it gets cold, and
yes.
Next time you'll be quicker.
Yes. Although, I have discovered that it's best to take your shower in the morning. One, it's brighter. So you have the skylight and the natural light coming in, and you don't have that in the evening. So if you're going to take a shower at night, it's going to be darker. And I don't know, but for whatever reason, the hot shower lasts longer in the morning. All right, so next up we want to talk about our cat, Midnight. And when we were living in the house, of course, her litter pan was down in the basement, and so you rarely noticed any odors. And now there's really not a good place to put her litter box. The place we've chosen to keep her litter box for now is in the shower, which for the most part is working out. It's just kind of a pain in the butt because when you go to get a shower yourself, you have to take it out of the shower, put it in the hallway, or most times we're setting it in the bedroom. But Kenzie, in homeschooling, we've created a new project for her. We're going to attempt to see if we can potty train Midnight. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but
maybe.
We'll see. If it does, it could totally enhance the quality of living. Let's talk about the single-digit temperatures we've experienced. So today's, January 6th? We are currently in a deep freeze in northeastern America. Grateful that we finally got our skirt on because we had ordered it like 7 or 8 weeks before moving to this location, intending that it would be here and ready to go, but it wasn't. It was a little late in getting here, but thankfully before we got any too severe weather, it did get put on the rig. And you want to talk about how we've been heating and staying above the freeze?
Well, we heat with propane, and we have an electric heater that supplements. But it's done pretty good, better than I maybe thought a trailer would do. We've been negative temperatures for like almost 3 weeks now, probably.
Yes.
Last night was -4 with wind chills close to -20. So it has been very cold. We've had snow. We got our skirt put on just in time, like she said. So far it's been doing okay. So it's cold in the mornings until we turn the electric heater back on. We'll wake up with it around 61, 63 degrees. But normally it runs around 67, 68. So it's pretty comfortable. The floor is just usually cold. So we got these area rugs put on the floor, and they have helped out pretty well.
Dumping tanks. So obviously living in a brick and mortar, you don't have to be concerned with dumping any tanks, really, because everything is taken care of through your sewage. But so that's a little bit of an adjustment, reading how full the tanks are and making sure that you're dumping them when need be. So even if that means going out when it's cold, which it has been, adjusting to that. And we've had to adjust to watching the levels of our propane and seeing where that's at. Washing clothes. So we have yet to install a washer and dryer, although we're looking at stackable units to put into the bedroom. Jared, the one day that we actually had a nice warm day, he did cut the hole out and get it ready for installing a washer and dryer, but we haven't done that yet. We've been going back to the house at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, to catch up on things and still, get the home ready for listing, but then also doing our laundry. So, internet. You want to take this one, babe?
No,
How are we
it's
adjusting?
a sad tale.
It has its ups and downs. The Wi-Fi isn't great when everybody is on it around us, but we've been using it to do homeschooling and with the business, and there are certain periods of the day when it's definitely better, but we're waiting for Comcast to come out. And what exactly are they doing?
Well, we're waiting to see if we can get service here. So it's been done in the past, since we're going to be here long term, in and out, that we could just hook up our own service right from the campground, have our own cable modem, and get internet that way. We're just waiting to hear back from them. It's been a couple weeks. They have to come survey the site, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
But keep your fingers crossed.
Fingers are crossed.
Hopefully it's coming.
Yeah, and you said that if all this pans out, that we potentially could have faster internet than we had at the house. Is that right?
We'll see.
That would be awesome. All right, so let's talk about our bed. It is not the most comfortable mattress in the world, so we ended up getting a like one of those foam toppers, and I feel like it made it worse.
A lot worse.
You complain about it the most. And we were talking about stripping it off today and just throwing it in the dumpster, and I don't know, just...
So we had a foam topper on our old bed, and it was like 2 inches thick, and it was great.
Yeah.
So when we got to the RV and have the RV mattress, we thought we'll just get another foam topper, and it'll work well. But we got this 4-inch one thinking bigger is better. And it is really just a piece of 4-inch foam. It doesn't support. You just kind of sink down into it, and it's pretty terrible. It's a little bit of a waste of money.
Yeah.
Picked it up at Wally World, soon to go in the dumpster, and we'll move on. Hopefully we'll look for the one that we had at the house.
Yeah. So there's not much of a picturesque view here at the resort. When we kicked off moving into the rig, we were in a state park. There were beautiful tree lines and the lake view, and the trailers weren't so close together. We moved into the resort and we're a lot tighter. And it's winter time, so I'm sure that maybe during spring and summertime, you know, with there being the pool for the kids and other things to be doing. So I don't know. The view is not as nice as we had it in the state park, for obvious reasons, but we're looking forward to future travels and getting the opportunity to change our view when we want. So we've talked a lot about the things that we're adjusting to that, you know, maybe could be considered not so good. I mean, it has its pros and cons, I think, to all of this, but we've listed out a few things that, in theory, and what we're hoping to get out of this lifestyle, that there are several benefits. And one would be travel. So while we won't be able to do as much traveling due to work, we've already started making plans, and we're looking forward to hitting up some of the local state parks. And why are you not smiling? And our big trip, you want to tell everybody where we are hoping to go in June?
Go ahead.
We are hoping to go to Niagara Falls, but visit on the Canadian side. So there's a KOA just over the border, and yeah, we will officially be international RVers at that point.
We'll see.
Okay, so we've been homeschooling now for a little over a week, and I feel it's going rather well, and I've been enjoying not having to ask the question, what did you do in school today? Actually getting to, you know, sit side by side with my kids and work through the material and just enjoy the blessings that all that brings has been really awesome. And that's one thing that we've been adjusting to. So I'll probably talk about that more in a later video. But we're also looking forward to having less to clean. That is a huge time saver. And even with all of the adjustments, I think they're great character building opportunities. So we're looking forward to all the blessings that are forthcoming, still adjusting, still learning, growing, but that's what life is all about. In our next episode, we hope to give you guys a little tour. What do you think?
Maybe. Depends if we get all of our stuff put away.
They probably don't care about our mess. They probably just want to see what it looks like. We'll see.